welcome to Project XTalk Gamepass reviews. My name is Tom, and bringing you guys a review of Moonlighter, released on May 29th of 2018. Hey, have you ever wanted to live your life out as a shopkeep and also slay demons, monsters, and other baddies within the dungeons that lie outside of your city walls? Well, Moonlighter is the game for you then. Moonlighter is an action RPG roguelite shopkeeping game. It's really hard to classify this one since I don't think I've ever seen anything like it before. The story on this one is not really relevant at all. You take over a shop, that shop is now yours, you need to make money. The only way to make money is going through the dungeons, killing monsters. Pretty simple, isn't it? The gameplay is the main focus of this game. If you look at Zelda meets a roguelite / shopkeeper game, that's what you get out of Moonlighter. There's a lot of fun to be had with this one. You get a lot of cool development within the city itself as well, which I'll touch on a little bit later. But for now, the main focus of the game is you run a shop. When you run that shop, you run it in the morning, and this happens before you delve into dungeons, which happens at night. Let me go through the beginning part first. The shop here, I feel like, is the biggest part about the gameplay. Townsfolk come into your shop, they haggle for items. You go in, see their emotions, how they feel about the items. Is it too pricey? Is it too low? Do you feel like they're ripping you off? That's when you go in, adjust the prices accordingly, make some money, and this all happens in the morning. In the afternoon, when the sun sets, that's when the monsters come out and you can go into the dungeons and start slaying them. And this is when you get like Zelda-esque dungeons. And it's a pretty interesting concept. You go in there, kill some monsters, they drop loot. There's also loot that you find in chests and whatnot. And you bring that stuff back to your home or the shop in the morning before you start the day. And then you can sell that stuff from there, adjust the prices, so on and so forth. The main progression of this game though is you go through the dungeon, you kill the boss, and you progress to the next tier of dungeon. There's also upgrades to be had along the way. You get weapon upgrades, potion upgrades, anything that will help you progress through that dungeon, which is a little bit difficult, and that's why it has that roguelite element to it. Pretty much the benefits of having money means you can buy better weapons, better potions, and also upgrade your town. You can attract new townsfolk to your town. They can help you along your way, whether it's someone who sells potions, someone who sells weapons, someone who upgrades those weapons, someone who sells raw materials so you don't have to go gather them all. It's a fun gameplay loop that actually keeps you involved throughout the entire process. The atmosphere in this one, I feel like it's okay, the music is good. The art between the dungeons are changed significantly enough that they feel different. But there's really not much to the town itself. Besides you bringing in some new people to sell you some new items, the town doesn't really feel alive, besides when they're all inside of your shop. After you beat the main story, is there anything to come back to? There's some if you're a completionist. Honestly, besides the DLC that this game added, that does expand with a few more dungeons, which I'm not going to include part of this review. We're only talking about the base game here. There's really not too much else to do apart from that. There's nothing to really test your new abilities on, test your skills on, your new weapons on. Besides, just the normal tier of the dungeons. Once you get to the very end, you've pretty much experienced it all at that point. But being that this game is only $20 or free on the Gamepass, I definitely say it's worth it, considering that you're going to get 20 hours from the main story, at least, at minimal, or over 30 if you want to do the completionist stuff and, get every upgrade, every weapon, every little side thing in the game. And that's how, how I play the game. But I honestly, in terms of everyone else, it's kind of grindy at that point, besides the main story, but the main loop of the game is entertaining enough. The game itself is actually great. The loop of the game kept me engaged throughout the entire 30-hour journey that I'd had in the game, and it really did keep me engaged. Everything here was really well wrapped, the combat, the shot mechanics, and the dungeon crawling, I felt like it was satisfying enough, and every single boss as well is really diverse enough that it makes every encounter super different and real fun. Project XTalk gives Moonlighter an 8 out of 10.